right.
I'm on. It's technology delays everything. I'd like to call the meeting of the Harwich Cemetery Commission to order at 9 o'clock on April 10th. We get emails
Yep.
from Tom Blue.
Yep. So the step that will start the walkway, if you turn to the second page, it has 3 options for you guys. One is lettering that has the engraved town seal and when it was established. One has a set up in stencil thing, and the other one is just engraving.
So the bottom one has the town of Harwich and the seal, and the other two don't.
I think the middle one does.
Engrave the town seal.
Oh no, maybe you're right.
So the first one's just 2-inch letters.
Yeah.
Hey,
And then the second one's 3-inch letters, and then the third one is just the seal.
Just the seal?
Can we, not to digress, can
Yeah.
we change it from the War Memorial to the Veterans Memorial?
What does it say, warm?
On his letterhead. It may
Yeah.
be just Tommy's typing, but,
Yeah.
I mean,
I think this is just his proposal. I don't
Okay.
think it matters.
I mean, because it's never been referred to. It's
Yeah.
Veterans Circle,
Yeah.
it's Veterans Memorial Drive, and it's the Walk of Remembrance.
It's probably because a couple of the other towns are calling it war. Theirs are calling their war
How big
memorial.
is the step?
That's on the first page. It's a regular step. He went and measured the step.
I don't see the dimensions.
They were on a previous email. Do you need me to go get it? It's pretty big. It's like about this big.
If
right?
my memory serves me correctly, it would be the same width as the walkway, correct? Width-wise.
Yeah.
So I believe it's like 5 by maybe 14 inches, 12 inches.
Yeah.
Do the first 2 options have the seal?
No.
So what size letters does the third one have?
It's just the seal.
Oh, so nothing has letters and seal on it.
Correct.
Should we have both on it?
It's up to you guys. We can table this and ask him to resend it.
That's the seal?
This is a seal.
Because it says the seal.
How come on the first one, it's just
2 inches.
Setup and stencil fees, $250. Setup and stencil fees, $600 down here on the third one.
Because I have no idea. This is for 2-inch letters, 3-inch
3-inch
letters, and this is for the
The
seal.
seal it, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
That
Thank
must
you.
be how he sets up the,
Sure, that makes sense. Good to do that also.
what does the seal say on the bottom?
Adopted September 4th, 1897.
When
But
was
it's
the-
incorporated right here in 1694.
1694. I don't think we need the seal on it.
Oh, I was gonna go the other way.
Just the seal.
I was gonna go. Town of blah, blah, blah.
We'll put a seal plus the writing, town of Harwich.
Well, I
Yeah,
kinda
because
thought that's what-
it doesn't actually say the town of Howard. Oh, yeah, it does. This is the seal of the town of Howard. So it actually already says the seal of the town of Howard and incorporated with the date. So it actually has everything on it, the seal. You don't think that's redundant?
Hey, don't ask me, former military,
Okay.
Department of Redundancy Department.
Yeah, you guys do everything 9 times. So.
So
Um,
do you guys want to?
I don't like just the plain,
Just the
or,
writing.
well, actually, I wish there were pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be fine with town of Harwich established 1694.
in the bigger letters. I mean, a 2-inch letter,
It's only that big.
yeah.
3-inch will give you like that. I think it's gonna be
I
3
would
inch.
actually do 3 and 2. I would do town of Harwich, then 2 inches for established.
Okay.
Or,
Yeah.
I mean, we could do the seal, but then you got all this space, right?
Yeah.
Then we should put the seal on one end and then do the writing. So the seal's off on one end.
Yeah. How big's the step again?
It's approximately 5 feet wide by probably a foot or 14 inches deep.
So it'd be like
Yeah.
that big, so you'd have to have a seal that big around, I would imagine, on it.
Would you like him to draw it for you just so you can visually more see it?
No,
Is there one that's already made that way that we could take a picture of?
I
In the
doesn't
fi- in
it
the
the fire
fire
department?
Police or fire?
Yeah,
it's inside.
yeah.
It's like,
Big though.
drew that ages ago. Can we come back to this?
Yep.
Okay. We'll revisit this one later on. Email from Diane Rochelle at the
So
Dennis Revolutionary.
Yeah, so I've been reaching out to all the different towns just to make sure that my list doesn't have veterans that are theirs or vice versa. So we are cross-referencing all of our lists. So Diane, she is really with the town of Dennis, but she's also working with the Yarmouth Historical Society, so we get both people on that. So we're just gonna cross-reference them, so if you see each one of these following emails, the first one is from the town of Dennis, really, and it's Diane's. Then the second one is from Chatham, which is Judy, and she's from the Chatham Historical Society. So they don't have a list of soldiers, and some of their documentation say they might be Harwich soldiers. So I'm really gonna check, really cross-reference theirs because they weren't sure either way. Eastham, she's a volunteer for the Eastham Historical Society, Masha. So I'm just gonna forward her everything that I have. She's gonna forward me what she has, and then we'll Lynn is helping me with this as well, which is kind of nice. And then Linda from the Falmouth Genealogical Society came to the DAR meeting that me and Lynn attended, and she did a little presentation on how all of their veterans have the flag holders, which we already ordered for all of our veterans as well. And we've been talking back and forth, and I'm probably going to meet up with her a couple more times. She's got a lot of knowledge, and she wanted to know how I did all my research. So we're just going to share our what we used, each one of us, to make sure neither one of us are forgetting our veterans. So it's been a lot of back and forth with a lot of these other towns just to confirm our veterans, so we don't have any duplicates. Because as you know, each letter on our memorial is going to cost money, and if they were Dennis veterans, we don't want to be putting them on ours. It's costing us money when in fact they are for Dennis.
And do you think you're gonna say we're done?
I'm pretty much almost done. I'm just looking at their list. Lynn's looking at their list. We have about 30 that we're questioning either way. That could go either way, but and then we're going to publish them in the newspaper. But I have a whole report on that in here that you're going to see, which is probably up next.
Like the community planting thing.
No, we
Oh,
had
the
a
preservation.
yeah from Jan. So Jan had sent me an email on the outstanding CPC articles. As you know, we have another one going forward for the North Harwich gravestone conservation for this year's town meeting. She had the wrong article here. She put East Harwich Union on the email she sent us, but it was really the South Harwich gravestone, which has gone out to bid, and you guys are gonna have to award that today, but we'll get back to that one in a minute. But
Avoid it?
what?
Say avoid it?
No, we're gonna get back to it at the end, because it's on a,
I thought
it's,
you said avoid.
no. So I wrote up, the updates for all the articles that we have, the undesignated funds of article number 28 of the 2023, which was the War Memorial Project at Evergreen. And that's what the CPC called that particular part of it, to create the Revolutionary War and Civil War memorials at Evergreen. So I have done all the research and verification of the name spelling. Now we are just collaborating and making sure our accuracy with the towns, cross-referencing the other towns, and then the last step is our community engagement, which we'll be publishing a list in the Chronicle to make sure that we haven't overlooked any soldiers and to verify any other spellings that somebody might come forward. For instance, in Eldridge could come forward and say, you have our guy incorrectly spelt. So we just want to make sure that happens before. We don't have to wait for that to go out to bid because it's by the letter, the engraving. So we can put out the list anyways. We can go out to bid. In worst case scenario, we find somebody on there that we have to pull off. It'll just be a little bit cheaper because we're doing less engraving. And then the other one was the South Harwich gravestone project, which I went out to bid. I guess we can do that right now if you want to, Steve. So everyone got a packet that I photocopied. This is the documentation that I mailed out to 3 different people. I sent it to Tamara. She has bid on our projects in the past, and she's in New Salem. And then Cheryl Caputo, who did the Mount Pleasant gravestones. I really liked her. She was excellent. And then John Pougier. So John Pougier did the Hawk's Nest.
Correct.
Yeah. So the price quotes, the appropriation at town meeting was $23,000. The prices came in. Cheryl Caputo gave us $27,000, and John Pougier gave us $19,500.
And Tamara didn't give one?
She didn't mail it back in. I don't know why. She just did. She probably.
So it kind of makes it a no-brainer if we only allotted $20,000, right?
Correct. So I need someone to make a motion to
Okay,
accept.
I make a motion we contract John Fougier to go ahead with the South Harwich Gravestone Conservation.
Second.
All in favor?
What?
So be it.
And they'll be happy that it came under. So what's happened before, what we always put a contingency on, and since we went out to bid the original, the first time, one of the gravestones that was leaning actually fell. So it moved from leaning to the actual on the ground for new foundation. So things can be in flux. So it's kind of nice that we'll have that, $4,000 plus cushion in case any of those other leaning ones fall before he actually gets out there. So I don't foresee that. So Rob second. Okay.
Are we gonna do this to the North Harwich one too?
Yeah.
Fix the stones?
Yes, so hopefully that'll be approved at May town meeting. I think it will be because there was a lot of people from North Harwich that were very interested in that moving forward. So the email on the planting day, I don't have mine on me, but you guys probably have that. So,
Email planting day.
yeah, so Emrys, it's from Carrie. So Emrys is working with the health department, with the Council on Aging, with the elementary school, on doing a planting day. We started growing stuff from seeds, and they'll be planting them with the elementary school students. with the Conservation Department, the Health Department, and the 204 system. So they're planting raised beds gardens over there for the whole community. So it's just part of, Emrys is our AmeriCorps member.
Out in that front field, is that where they're planting those? Because the rototilled strip.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
So I don't know, there's some raised bed gardens that are in that, I
Inside
guess,
the
quadrangle, yeah, in the center there. They're doing some raised beds gardens in there as well. It's just to get the community involved, and then all of the produce it will be for anyone in the community. So I'm just letting you know that it's happening on May 22nd at the People's
What's
Garden.
Amherst?
Emrys is our AmeriCorps member that she's with
Oh,
us.
okay.
Yeah.
I knew it rang a bell.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's your name?
yeah.
Should probably have known that, but there you go.
And she yesterday was doing a invasive species removal all along the edging on, what was it, West Main Avenue.
Oh, okay.
As you
I did see her in there, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So she's a real self-motivating member. I'm glad we received her this year.
So she sees something that needs to be done and just goes, does it.
Yeah, we went in there to mark out something for, I had to do it before we went to that meeting, and she looked at it and she said, well, there's a lot of invasives. You want me to, when you come back to work in your office, I'll just come back here and I'll remove all that stuff. I said, fantastic. So she went back and,
Okay, do we want to go back to the blue? Did you find that picture we're looking for?
I mean, we do have a field trip, possible field trip on here. We could always run over there if you guys want to look at it.
Yeah, it's right in the lobby.
Yeah.
The two dispatches.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
Okay, we have any other old business?
Yeah, did you get the signs ordered for Evergreen, for the new road sign in there,
No.
okay.
I know I had talked to somebody over at the DPW.
Which sign is that now?
They just want a sign from where it connects from one road to the other road.
Yeah.
Are we doing two signs?
I think we were doing two signs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I can work,
On each end of that little
yeah.
road part, right?
Yeah, but what about the other, if you want to put one at either end of that connection, that would be two. And then do you need two from,
We're talking
The
about
Veterans
the
Memorial.
Peace Way and
Yeah.
connecting
Yeah.
to, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
mess up your family's name.
no, it's okay. Kenny. It's not Lothar, good thing.
I can say that.
So what were it's Peace Way,
Yeah, I think that's what we voted on.
Yeah.
So Peace Way
Right.
connects to McKinney.
I think we decided McKinney Way also,
Okay.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's what it is.
and they do those in-house, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe so.
they've done it for us in the
Yeah,
past.
that's, they made the Veterans Memorial
Yeah.
Drive in-house.
All right, I'll look at the notes for that, and then I'll put in a work order, to make sure Jim goes over.
Now, old business, the Walker Remembrance sealant has been ordered. We had that discussion.
Yes, it has been ordered. We are just waiting for the temperature to agree, cooperate.
It's
and
been
then
so
we'll go out there.
cold.
It's gonna be August.
Well, hopefully not, but I mean, we can't be premature with it, cause then, Ms. Kelly won't be happy with how it doesn't glisten. So we have to do it proper temperature. And, it should apply rather quickly. You can do 2 small light coats or 1 small coat. Either way, you don't have to do multiple coats per the instructions. And, it just needs a window of 3 to 4 days of 50+ degrees, and it can't dip down at night, or it'll cloud up and glaze and blister, and then you got a mess.
Yeah.
Because how do you strip it?
And
You know?
this is Cape Cod, and it changes.
Right. So
All the time.
late April, maybe mid to mid-May, I'm hoping. You know, I just wanna do it right. There's a lot of time and money invested in that walkway, and
Yeah.
it's a priority project, so.
And you have something about a mower?
I do. I have an
Well,
estimate.
I think we should do the,
Before the mower?
the account, so that we know how much money we have.
You can plenty.
That's, but we still should do it.
Don't make me get Lincoln on this. The look. Well, I mean, it is, one big department.
So the year-to-date cemetery revolving. So our balance as of today is $27,670.82. The outstanding encumbered thing that we have currently is the $644.46 for the sealant, which we haven't paid for. They'll have to transfer that to us. Although maybe they'll eat that if we buy a mower. And then the available balance is $27,026.36.
And the gravestone restoration, that's.
That comes out of CPC.
And your number is?
Oh, yes, this, Kyle Vehicle Maintenance Manager was kind enough to get a updated estimate approximately a week or so ago, and that is $9,047 even. It, increased approximately a couple $100 since the last one, so nothing drastic.
9,047.
Correct, no pennies,
No pennies.
no pennies,
No tax?
no tax,
What tax is it?
no tariff.
Tariffs are fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's gonna fix everything.
Yeah.
Country's gonna be great again?
Who?
The country's gonna be great again.
Oh, I think so.
Okay,
I
thank you.
think,
That's a discussion for a whole nother show.
Untelevised.
yeah, untelevised. Yeah, I move that we purchase another mower for the cemetery maintenance operation to the tune of $9,047 per Jim's recommendation.
Second.
All in favor?
Hold on,
Aye.
hold on a minute. Cindy?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Do you think you can ask him to eat the $644.46?
That is something that is beyond my control.
I will shoot him an email.
So what about other, like, little stuff that you guys use, weed whackers and things?
They have a much longer lifespan because they're used more intermittently. The mowers start up and they run all summer long every day. The weed whackers, not so much. They have their moments in the sun where they go for hours on end, but then they may hibernate a little bit, you know.
And the fuel comes from the town?
Correct.
Supply someplace that FDA.
Yeah, I
DD
mean, we
goes
just,
and fill- Yeah,
well, it's mixed fuel for those items
Right.
and they're purchased with additives so it doesn't harm the engines. So that's a DPW thing. We just take that as we need it.
good.
Cost of doing business, I guess you would say.
What happens to the old mowers, the ones that you,
The old mowers that I currently am rotating into the old department will be used to mow the groves in Island Pond, the nasty stuff that you don't really want to subject the new mowers to. It's dustier and more obstacles that tend to get run over
good deal.
until they're just
Yeah.
done.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure they get worn out.
Once you go through the growth, that'll wear them out in a hurry.
Yeah, it does. It's very abusive, you know,
Beats the
unfortunately.
decks up and everything else.
Decks, everything, yeah, unfortunately.
In the revolving account,
So that
And we just did,
becomes
yeah, we just did that.
2703.
So now I just
I
have,
didn't know if he had something else on his investment stuff or whatever for that.
So now we have 17,979.
selling more lots today. We had, while I was away, 2 people passed away. So I'm selling lots today to one of the dads, his daughter. And then I have to meet somebody else on Friday. So we'll be putting more money back into the account, so
And we already
unfortunately for them.
been over the CPC articles.
Yep, so the CPC articles are in good shape. We should be hopefully going out to bid, I would say before town meeting on the memorials. I would want to try to do both of them at the same time. So the Civil War one was much easier than the Revolutionary War. The Civil War has been indexed unbelievable. It's the Revolutionary War that was the hardest one too. And in the Civil War, you had to have really served time. In the Revolutionary War, you could have served 4 days. You know what I mean? And they consider you a Revolutionary War veteran. So there are different criteria. So those two should be ready to go by, I would say May, end of May. And then the only one that, if it gets approved, the North Harwich one, then we would go out to bid for that in July. But I would assume, once we tell John Fougere that the memorials are good to go, he worked pretty quickly, the last job he did for us on conservation. So I'm assuming he'll jump right on that and get that done as quickly as possible. So hopefully that one will be completed by the Maytown meeting, which would be kind of nice as well.
Then the Eagle Scout project.
So I am still waiting for the Eagle Scout to get back to me to let me know that they have approved it. He's submitted his paperwork, but it has to be approved before we can move forward. I will go out though. I sent him another text this morning and just said, we really need to get moving on this. I know his birthday is within like 3 months or something. So he's got to get going or he doesn't get it. So we'll put that on next month's agenda and I'm sure we'll know.
What's the project? Remind me, please.
The fence at
The fence at the church.
That's right, East Harwich. Thanks.
We have an AmeriCorps update.
So we have a new AmeriCorps member and I'm very pleased with the way it's going. And I have to say, very motivated member out there. I mean, she's cross-referenced all the tree tags that we had. She went out, goes out on her own and has been looking at all of the different trees and what needs to be updated as far as tree tags, what needs to be, what maintenance needs to be done. So can't say enough about Emrys.
Great.
A welcome, you know.
A welcome human.
Yes, absolutely.
Any other old business? I'm sure
Do
there
we have
is.
a finalized list of the monuments somewhere?
A finalized list of,
The memorials that are gonna go on the walkway?
I don't, but I do have a printout of all the war things that Shawnee gave me. So I don't know if you want me to, if we are gonna go out for a walk,
Yeah, if we do that.
I'll bring it with us. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. Now we'll move on to new business. We get bills and deeds and
Yep, so we have 3 bills. We have our Eversource bill for the well at Evergreen, $15. The NECA, which is the New England Cemetery Association dues, which is $50. And Amazon, my UPS surge protector for my computer died. And I've had it probably since I started this job, so almost 20 years. It was $156.87. I think we got our useful life out of that.
Your degree made it.
They had to move my whole desk out to put it in. That was probably the most painful thing about the operation, but it's all done. So those were our bills for this month, which is kind of nice.
now do we want to go to the memorial walk?
Oh, and then we gotta talk about the deeds. So we had four deeds. We had the Roses bought 2 grave spaces in Island Pond. The Rickabees bought 1 cremation space in Evergreen. The Stroms bought 1 grave space in Island Pond. And then the Garveys bought 2 spaces in Mount Pleasant. There. lot of people are starting to pre-plan, I think they're, and we have a whole bunch of pre-planning things going on at the, in conjunction with Julie, for the Council on Aging, so I think a lot more people will start. Plus, the weather's getting nicer, nobody wanted to go looking for lots in the 20-degree.
Jim said it's been kind of slow.
It has been.
Nobody wants to bury. We've had people that have passed, they've all been cremated, so
Yeah.
when the weather breaks, trust me, it'll be very busy, because we got a queue of people.
Yeah, a couple in May that I'm aware of, and then some to be determines.
Yeah.
The names are out there, I have paperwork, but no time or date or,
Yeah.
you know.
Then, do you wanna go out to the cemetery? Just look at
Do
the
you wanna go to the
walkway.
cemetery, or you just wanna go to the police department, or what do you wanna do?
We could go, why don't we just go police department on our way
Okay, and then
and
Evergreen?
do the walk, cause
Okay.
Jim's here and, but can you grab that list real quick?
Yep.
Donnie's list on the way out?
Yep.
Could I just throw something out there for your consideration? It
That's
doesn't
why
have,
you're invited all the time.
it's actually unrelated to Evergreen Cemetery. It's just something that I've been thinking about. I've talked to Robin about it. It needs your attention or your thoughts. The Veterans Memorial in Island Pond is now basically sitting idle, with no use. It's just there. I didn't know if you had any plans for repurposing it in the future. It's still being mowed around and pruned and whatnot, but it's got a boulder that says Veterans Memorial. It's got a flagpole, and it's just kind of there. It's kind of like a used car that's been put in the backyard. I didn't know what your thoughts or dreams were for that moving forward. Something just to consider, mull over.
Can you move the rock?
Oh yeah, but it's got the like, I'll call it slate or whatever,
Patio type.
type scenario, and a makeshift rock wall, dry laid rocks behind it, and then the flagpole, and then some shrubbery. And the boulder does say Veterans Memorial. Anything can be done. It can be repurposed, whatever you all agree, whether it's future grave spaces or just open space, but it's just there, and it's annoying because it's
Was
there.
it dedicated to the veterans at that point when it was installed?
Probably was at some point. I mean, it's been the Veterans Memorial since I've been here,
Yeah.
so I
So
mean,
should we
it's,
keep that like as a small, small ceremonies for Island Pond versus moving everybody over to the other one?
Just something for your consideration.
it's hard for the veterans to get to that memorial. I don't know why, with all of the land that they had at Island Pond, why they put it on that hill there, because it's pretty,
Hilly, to say the least.
hilly, and when we've had veterans there in the past, and there's no parking.
Parking is
It's not I mean,
But
Congested.
it was a cozy place.
Yeah.
To have a ceremony.
right,
But since we're going through all of this
right,
at Evergreen,
right.
I mean, I could certainly see consolidate, and one of the purposes of the Evergreen was elderly veteran access.
Right.
So,
So would you move the boulder over there?
well, the first thing that popped in mind was what's the Balloons plans for the terminus?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, that may be appropriate to put it there.
Right.
It could maybe go at the entrance, the rock. I mean, I hate getting rid of a rock.
Yeah.
But that's 4 years of geology studies.
Yeah.
It could go there if it can be moved. That's why I said you could move it.
Yeah, it can be
without
moved, and maybe a
breaking
little.
somebody's back,
Yeah, it would use heavy equipment to
Oh,
probably remove it, unearth it, and then strap it and load it in, the
But
dump
then
truck.
maybe that area, I'd have to go look at it again, not fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, could be repurposed to some other kind of dedication.
Right.
Or.
Could become a cremation garden
that
for
was-
veterans.
That is exactly what flashed into my brain.
Yeah,
It's
so I mean,
big enough to do
Yes.
a cremation wall
Not,
or.
I don't know that we would do a scattering garden.
No.
Only because then people will scatter them themselves, and then we wouldn't know who was there.
True.
So, and it would,
So
but
maybe
we
need
could,
to-
like, you've been to some of the smaller churches that have small little plaques that they put the cremated remains. could be cheaper for them.
It's just something I wanted to consider.
I
you
mean,
know.
I can look into
Check it
I mean,
other,
there's a lot
love
of
that
things
too.
that if we keep it,
Come up with, yeah.
if we can't turn it into burial spaces.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, I like the cremation idea, I like repurposing it as a,
As a family
dedication
memorials or something
to-
like that.
I mean, we can't be too specific, but you've got founding fathers, you've got the wall of people right down here by the gym. I mean, you could throw a dart there and hit some people that could be worthy of eternal memorialization as opposed to a photo on a wall.
yeah.
So why don't we
okay.
go through Island Pond, quick pause at the memorial, to the police station, to Evergreen, to lunch.
Or to lunch. Who's buying lunch?
Oh, I'll always buy lunch. She's always so busy and everybody has plans, you're getting on your bike and,
Yeah,
of course,
I'm
it is
riding
my
again
wife's
tonight.
day
so-
off, so I do have to get home, but.
Okay, so when's our next meeting?
Let's see, May? No,
May.
yeah, May.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. May.
Oh, do we do
What do we want, the
Yes.
first Thursday or the second? Oh, I can't do
First.
it the first because my daughter's getting her sergeant stripes.
Sweet,
Yeah.
Be
very
the
sweet.
8th.
That'd be the 8th.
5/8. Did we do other business, by the way?
We didn't, I don't think so.
Do you have other
Can we
business?
jump back there, please?
Yeah, sure.
I want to ask if have you ordered the veterans flags?
Yeah, Shawnee orders those, yeah. So
Okay,
she,
please.
she automatically does it, but this is gonna be her last year. So I'm gonna have to figure out, who I'm gonna be reaching out to. I think Greg is still staying on. But Shawnee's last, she retires this summer.
Yeah. Would you ask if she'd add like another box to that?
We just
We
have
have-
4. We have 4 cases
Yeah,
in
yeah, okay, yeah.
Mount
Yeah,
Pleasant.
we have plenty,
Good.
yeah.
Okay, good deal. And also, do we have any up-to-date cemetery maps? You know, the old ones that we've rolled up forever, the ones that John goes
Yeah.
by to find people.
Yeah.
Do you have any updated ones that we could have?
I can see if I can scan them in, because the ones that I have are enormous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell me which ones you need.
You mean John hasn't memorized this by now?
We're pretty good at it.
Yes, you are.
After
Very good.
35 years,
Very
we should
good.
be.
Well, I mean, I actually think that should be a project that, for those of us that do ancestry stuff,
Yeah.
that I can go, here.
So you want me to have them scanned in over at the town hall, and they can be,
Well, I mean, I think this is a big project. and
Yeah.
I don't wanna get in the way of the war memorials,
yeah.
but, I mean, we should be digital.
Yeah.
Every single person that lives over there.
Hey, I used the app yesterday to find a grave.
So
That's what I
at
thought.
Island Pond,
Yeah,
Alan
because
Fun and
I've
Evergreen.
gone looking for graves at Island Pond and it's been like,
I've had a 50-50,
Noah's Dog.
50-50 success
yeah,
rate.
So, at some point, and this could be, maybe another Eagle Scout project, some of the GPS coordinates, you take a picture and when you upload it to the app, you put in the coordinates. So that in that way, when you go into the app, it's exact on the monument.
yeah.
So those haven't been done.
They
But that,
can be edited?
oh yeah, they can be
I
edited.
didn't know we couldn't.
All right, so,
Yeah, so that's a project for the future, but I think we need to get on that.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah, if we could get some sort of map before like the 1st of May. That's too fast, right?
no, I can get them, I can bring my maps over, they can just
Okay.
copy them from me.
Yeah, as soon as possible, because we'll do flags before the 15th, probably.
Okay, so we
Yeah, so
adjourn.
there's another reason why, I mean, yeah, to have all the veterans, you know, you
Yeah.
pull up a map of a cemetery and there's a little red V or a
Yeah.
circle with a, you know, or somebody of note that can be, it's sort of like Island Pond, you
Yeah.
know, but, and the software there, but
And I'm sure it's been said multiple times before, but the Eldridges do an amazing job. That is a lot of work. You and your husband, oh my God, we see you in every cemetery walking around,
My
placing
back
those
hurts
flags.
just looking at those things. Bending over, putting them in, I'm like,
She's getting her steps in.
Yes.
We used to have
What's the
a
time?
bundle of like
Yeah.
3 or 4
time
pages,
is
the new ones.
like-
The old ones under this arm, you know, you gotta be careful not to drop them. And if you had to pull out one, it's like, do you lay them on top of a monument and hope they don't fall off while you're trying to pull that out?
Yeah.
If I can give them out with pliers, then John has to drill them out.
Yes.
Biggest
The ones
problem.
with the screw, horrible.
Well, we're trying to replace it. We're trying to
Swell up in there.
replace all of those, so,
Yeah,
okay.
anyway,
Okay,
Okay,
it's been an
do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting and continue it over at the War Memorial?
so Rob makes motion, who seconded?
Everybody at
me, I guess.
9:41.
all those in favor, get up.
Yes. Are you gonna hit pause on the recording?
Let me go through the stuff in my office, grab that list.
So we going to Island Pond first?
Yeah. I'm gonna